Hello and welcome to BrainGeek on Beauty. My name is Jessica and I am a neuroscientist and, let's be honest, makeup hoarder. A couple of weeks ago, I uploaded a video where I talked generally about how to start incorporating more color into your makeup looks, and I mentioned a couple of suggestions for how to add a pop of color to an otherwise neutral eye look, and I thought today I would actually film myself doing that. What I'm going to do today is I am going to create a neutral eye look with a palette that I just bought during all of my holiday shopping. This is the Viseart Chroma Theory palette. I picked up this very neutral palette, which is very unlike me because I'm all about color. But something about it just really spoke to me. What I thought I would do today is I will really quickly, without chit-chatting, go through and do an eye look that's just neutral with this palette. And then once that's done, I will then go in and start to add subtle pops of color in a couple of different ways. So I'm going to zoom in closer and so that you can see what I'm doing on my eyes, and I'll start off with a completely neutral eye look. All right, so I'm actually pretty happy with that. You can see that I've basically done a completely neutral look with some fairly cool shadows. They're not entirely black. There's some sort of taupey, cool taupey stuff going on here. So the three easiest things to do to add color subtly into a look like this is to add color on the lid, the inner corner, and the waterline / lower lash line for a look like this. Something that's in the similar depth of tone, but in a colorful shade. It can actually be quite a subtle addition of color. So I thought I would go in with like a raspberry / burgundy type shade. But any jewel toned color would work really, really well for this. Cobalt or navy blue, forest green, a deep royal purple, like a burnt orange, whatever your favorite color is. I just felt like raspberry today. Since I was trying out this new Viseart palette that I bought, I figured I'd go in with another one of my Viseart palettes. So this is the Editorial Brights palette. It's just so pretty. So I'm going to go in with this sort of raspberry shade here, and I'm just going to add it to the sort of outer portion of the lid. I put the black shadow before, just where I'm starting to like blend that into the lighter lid shade. So I'm just going to add like a hint of color into the darker outer corner. So nothing crazy, just gonna add a little subtle hint of color to that outer corner. So you can see that right there is just a subtle kiss of color. And from a distance wouldn't even be that noticeable. You can see the difference that it makes compared to the completely neutral eye here. Just that little hint of something brighter going on. Nothing crazy, but it adds something to the look. I just did that with a matte shadow, but you could do the same thing by adding a little bit of a shimmery shade on the outer corner. So like if you were doing like a really shimmery eye look on the lid, you could do like a lighter champagne color and have that go into like a shimmery black or charcoal, and then have just a little hint of like a shimmery burgundy in between the two, and that would be awesome. But like I said, any color you want. So right there, just adding that little smidgen of color can make all the difference in the world. You could stop right there, put on liner, lashes, mascara, and you'd be good to go. No need to do anything else. If you feel comfortable with this level of color and you want to amp it up a little bit more, you could actually take the same color on the lower lash line and the waterline. Because I went with like a raspberry color for my pop of color on the lid here, that can sometimes be a difficult color for people when they're getting started for the lower lash line, for the waterline. Putting anything that's pink or red in your waterline can make you look like you have pink eye essentially, or some sort of infection, unless you're careful. Raspberry burgundy isn't as bad, but you definitely want to make sure that it looks intentional. But if you go in with like a deep enough shade, it won't look too crazy. So I'm going to go in with my ColourPop cream gel liner in Charmer, which I've used in a video here before, and just put a little bit of that in my waterline. So already that clearly looks very different than the eye without that. A lot of people worry about making their eyes look smaller if they put a dark color in their waterline. I have really small eyes, and I've just decided I don't care. If my eyes look smaller, I'm just going to go for it. If you don't want to put something dark in your waterline because that's a thing for you, or if you just don't like wearing liner in your waterline, that's fine. You can put it along the lower lash line as well to add that color. But if you do it in the waterline, I highly recommend bringing that color down and rubbing it into the lash line as well. Otherwise, it just looks too harsh. If you're worried about closing your eye off as well, you can also go only part way with it. So because the color here is just on the outer portion of the lid, you could put a colored liner just on the outer portion of the waterline, and that would also look awesome. So now that I've got that liner on there, I'm just going to go back in with a little bit of my neutral shade and blend the edges. All right, so you can see right there that this has gone to a pretty colorful look, but it's a very subtle colorful look. So the colors are still deep and rich. They're of the same depth as the sort of neutral shades that I used on the outer corner. It just adds a little bit of a pop. So if you saw me walking across the room, you wouldn't be like, oh my God, she looks like a clown. You would think like, doesn't she look lovely with her incredibly classy eye makeup? And then maybe once I got closer to you, you would be like, oh, what a beautiful pop of plum you've got going on there, if you were one to notice those things. So you could absolutely stop there. Once again, this is like sort of step 2. If you wanted to take this one step farther and add a colorful inner corner to this look, you absolutely could. Because I've gone with some purple shades here, I thought I would use this glorious purple from the Petite Pro 5 Soleil palette. It's like a pinky, how do I describe this color? You'll see. It's like a pinky lavender, shifty, duochromy goodness kind of thing going on. Wow, I have no idea where that cut off. But as you can see, I've now put this beautiful lavender, lilac, pink, shifty thing on my inner corner. Just blending that in. And now I feel more like myself with more color. But you could basically do any one of these three things or all of them as a way to subtly get started with color. So to do like an entire sort of smoky neutral eye with just sort of an iridescent, colorful inner corner is gorgeous. Doing a fully neutral eye with a colorful lower lash line is gorgeous. Adding just a little pop of color in one place on the lid, gorgeous. Or you can do all three in sort of coordinating shades or complementary shades, or pick whatever colors you want and start gradually getting more and more colorful with it. Basically, I thought I would just show you in practice what I would do to subtly introduce some color into a neutral eye look using the techniques that I had mentioned before. But you can find lots of examples of people adding a pop of color in different ways to neutral eye looks all over the internet. I'm going to curl my lashes and put on mascara, and then I'll zoom you out and show you the whole thing. All right, so here's the finished look, and I don't think it's excessively colorful, but maybe I'm just biased because I'm so used to seeing myself wearing 16 different colors on my eyelids. But I think it actually is a really nice subtle look, and I chose a plummy purple color that complements my green eyes. I think it looks really nice. I didn't bother to put on false lashes because I almost never do. But you absolutely could if you were wearing this for a night out. Like, where are you going? No one's going anywhere. Anyway, basically, these are sort of placements and ideas of ways that you could put a little bit of color into your eye look. So I hope you found that useful. If you'd like to see me do more looks like this, where I incorporate color more subtly into various neutral makeup looks, I'm happy to do that. Let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to see me do tutorials with like crazy colors, I've been toying with the idea of doing one of those like random color challenges with all of my single eyeshadows. Let me know if you'd be interested in that in the comments down below as well. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you'll come back and hang out with me again. Bye.